Happy day, friends. If you are a Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo, then this is your weekly reading for the week of March 9th, or April 9th, sorry, through April 15th. And as I was pulling your cards and just kind of meditating before starting the reading, fire signs, I really was hearing this message that was just coming through super heavy. And it was like, Spirit was just saying, it's time for you to shine, fire signs. It's just time for you to shine. It's time for you to step into your freedom, and it's time for you to give yourself permission to accept that you are a gifted individual. It's time for you to accept that you have the ability to lead people into magical places, okay? It's time for you to accept that you have the ability to lead yourself into these magical places, okay? And I pulled the Truth card on your behalf. And so this week, Spirit is really asking you to prioritize acceptance, accepting who you are, and not allowing yourself to be overwhelmed by the false narratives anymore. Not allowing yourself to be overwhelmed by the lies and the old stories that you've been telling and accepting about yourself for such a long time now, fire sign. So really giving yourself permission this week to prioritize asking the question, who am I? Okay, who am I? Not who do I need to be, not who do these people want me to be, but really who am I? Okay, because this answer will be this will be a very intimate conversation that you have with yourself. So even give yourself permission this week, fire signs, to lay low so that you can really ask that question and connect with the answer, okay? So that you can really listen from within. Because I feel like fire signs, for maybe the last couple of years, you've been in this space where you've been trying to figure that out. Who am I? You've really been trying to figure out who you are, right? You've really been trying to figure out um your way, the path or the way that you're supposed to go to live. How are you supposed to be and exist in the world, fire signs? And Spirit really wants you to hear that it's not so much about figuring anything out. It's not so much about you doing this or doing that in order to figure it out. It's really just about you accepting, okay? It's really about you just accepting and diving into a greater truth, right? So, Spirit really wants you to let go of getting caught. Last week, we talked about letting go of the fantasies for the fire signs reading, like stepping out of the illusion, stepping away from the fantasy, and really just grounding into the truth. So, again, that's kind of like the priority for you this week. But this time, it's not really, your focus is not really on letting go of the illusions or stepping outside of the fantasy. It's really more so about, okay, now that I've stepped outside of the illusion, now that I've let go of the fantasy, let me see clearly who the divine says that I am. Because once I redefine who I am, once I redefine that for myself, once I allow Spirit to redefine that for me, then I am going to be able to open up to these endless possibilities that I see for myself, that I feel for myself. Some of them I can't see, but I know that there are these endless possibilities that are just waiting to unfold on my behalf, right? So, fire signs, you really have to just give yourself permission to accept and to own that I'm a badass, and nothing has the ability to define my badassery, right? Like, no matter what I do, no definition, no thing that I do is good enough to define this for me. It's just me being that, right? It's just me being the badass. Like, that's it. And so, that's your priority for this week, is to really, again, let go of the illusions, step outside of the fantasy, and just feel into who you are. Stop trying to put pressure on yourself to, show up in certain ways, or stop trying to put pressure on yourself to, like, let go of the idea that you need to dress yourself up, or, and listen, I dressed myself up today, and I think that this is the perfect example of you don't have to do this in order to be who you are. You just have to be who you are, right? Like, and so let's just get let's because this fire signs, it's like, listen, it's all about taking off the mask, right? And okay, and what I'm hearing spirit say, especially with this truth card coming through, is that when you take off the mask, you really come into understanding what it is that you truly desire and what it is that you really want, and you let go of trying to control how what you want. You let go of trying to control what that looks like, right? So fire signs, you have the understanding, like, you are really faith driven signs, right? You're really faith driven. Fire signs, we are so faith driven. And so what I'm hearing is that you can't control, like, what you want is flowing into your space, but you can't control what that looks like. And you're really trying to control what that looks like. And so then you put on this mask to keep yourself in situations and circumstances and experiences that don't really align with what it really is that you want. But you're like, this is what I want. This is what's here. This is what's in my face. This is what's, available to me in the now. So let me do what I need to do to hold on to it, to cling on to it, even though it doesn't really align. So then we have our first card, Eight of Coins. Okay, fire signs, Eight of Coins. Eight of Coins. So definitely Spirit is wanting to build something new. Spirit is wanting you to let go of what's old so that something new can be built through you, fire signs. And what's so important, especially with Spirit asking you to prioritize your most authentic truth, right, this week, and connecting with the most your authentic truth. Whenever we look at the Eight of Coins, what is required is confidence. What confidence is key, right? If you are going to let go of what's old, and if you are going to move forward in this journey of a new beginning, in this journey of really meeting yourself and meeting life in a new way, confidence is key, right? If you feel like you don't have the resources to let go, to move on, your faith is key. Okay, let's not even say confidence, but your faith is key in this process, in this new beginning that's unfolding on your behalf. Okay, so don't be afraid to let go. Don't be afraid to say goodbye. Okay, because God has your back. You have all the tools that you need to do what you need to do. So you just need to trust and let your faith lead you. And then we have the King of Coins. Okay, we have the King of Coins. So again, nurture this week. Spirit is really asking you to prioritize, fire signs, nurturing your self-esteem, nurturing your confidence, really digging within your divine self so that you can feel more secure within yourself, because you are wanting to let go. You are looking at something right now in your life, fire signs, and you're like, this just doesn't make sense for me anymore. And it's kind of, you're almost kind of feeling a little bit of shame about that. And Spirit is like, life changes are natural, right? Change is inevitable. And if you feel like in your body, in your heart, in your mind, that something just isn't all in alignment with you anymore, fire sign, Spirit is saying that's totally okay. Give yourself permission to let go. Give yourself permission to nurture your confidence, your faith, so that you can move on. Okay, and then we have the Two of Wands, fire signs. So immediately I'm hearing you have a choice to make. You have a choice to make. And the reason why that is so pressing is because the reason why that is so pressing with the Two of Wands, if you have a choice to make, is because there's a new world, okay, that's wanting to be created through you, fire signs. And if you continue to cling and hold on to what's old, you're just prolonging, right? So you have, fire signs, you've always had this grand vision of what you would like the world to be, of what you would like your own personal world to be like. And the message through the Two of Wands is kind of reminding you that, like, if you don't make the choices that you know your heart, mind, and body are all pressing you to make, you're only prolonging this vision come into life. Okay, so really give yourself permission this week, fire signs, to say enough is enough. That's what I'm hearing, right? Enough is enough. And for me, like, I'm all dolled up, which I get dolled up every once in a while. It's not like an everyday thing, but for me, like, I want to see myself differently, right? And differently meaning I want to let go of the old versions of me that I was clinging to that just don't make sense anymore, okay? This makes sense to me. Prioritizing my beauty, right? And my inner beauty and letting that shine through. Like, that's a priority to me. So that's a part of the message too, is really just connecting with, again, your inner truth, your inner beauty, fire signs, really connecting with the most authentic version of yourself this week so that you can allow that to shine through, because that's going to be what really propels you forward, right? Like, you giving yourself permission to honor that, fire signs, is going to be what propels you forward. So the clarifying card for you, Sagittarius, is the Three of Cups. So for you, Sagittarius, don't be surprised, this week and in the coming weeks, don't be surprised at the connections that you make, because you are honoring yourself, because you are giving yourself permission to shine, okay? And it's like, listen, fire signs, it's not even about like, okay, you're giving yourself permission to shine, and it's not about cockiness or being arrogant. We know that. We as fire signs know how to be humble. We as fire signs know how to be laid back. And so it's not even about that. But Sagittarius with the Three of Cups, like, don't be surprised at the connections that you make this week, again, and in the coming weeks, as you really begin to honor yourself and really allow yourself to shine, okay? And then for you, Aries, we have the Death card. Okay, so for you, Aries, your clarifying card is the Death card. And with the Death card, Aries, it feels like, so I'm seeing the word stuck, okay, Aries, and it just really feels like you definitely, so your card is definitely also validating the message with the Two of Wands, okay, clarifying the message with the Two of Wands for you, Aries. So with the Death card, it just feels like you have choices to make this week, okay? And these choices that you are being asked to make, again, whatever choice it is that you make will influence how you move forward, right? Are you going to continue to hide yourself, Aries? Are you going to continue to allow other people's needs, is what I'm hearing, to overshadow your light, to overshadow your ability to shine? You have a choice to make, because it feels like, Aries, that you are kind of feeling like, it kind of feels like you're feeling a little bit down, but the people around you don't really know that you're feeling down. Um, and it's just because you're allowing everybody else's needs on a mental, emotional, and physical level to overshadow your own. So you have choices to make. And then for you, Leo, we have the moon. We have the moon. Okay. The word that's coming up for you, Leo, is insecurity. And so with the moon, you're being asked this week to really prioritize, in order for you to come into this truth, you're being asked to really prioritize shadow work, like really get to the bottom of your insecurities this week, Leo, because your insecurities have controlled you for a very long time, okay? And so in order for you to let go of these insecurities, in order for you to really move forward and shine in the way that you are meant to, Leo, you really have to get to the bottom of your insecurities. So that means getting into some shadow work this week, like really giving yourself permission to dive in, not being afraid to face those deep, dark waters, okay, Leo? All right, so this is the weekly reading for fire signs, Sagittarius, Aries, and Leo. Let me know in the comments how that was for you, if it resonates, if it doesn't, what stood out the most. It was kind of a little bit like, it felt a little bit chaotic and hectic. One, because you all know that I'm a Sagittarius, and so once I get into the fire signs reading, it's like I can just feel the shit coming through me, like, right, because it's for me too. And so it's like I can just feel the shit coming through me, and it just, I'm processing it all at the same time, right? So I love y'all. Again, let me know in the comments. If you would like to receive a personal reading, you can go to the information in the description to find out how to do that. And I'll see y'all next week.